So students, welcome to the second part of the video. And this part of the video I was trying to explain to you that these definite and indefinite integrals deals with the calculation of finding the exact area. And we are saying in terms of the exact area, we relate with what we have been doing during our previous topic, whereby we dealt with the approximation of an area under the curve. So there we're using the two famous methods, that is the mid-ordinate and the trapezium rule. So for them, they could not give us an exact answer. But what they are doing, they were giving us an approximation. So in this case, you're going to deal with the integration method that is going to be finding the exact area. That's why I'm saying, in this concept you have been told, estimate the area shaded beneath the curve shown below. So that is the curve which I'm trying to talk about. As you can see it, we have the y-axis, we have the x-axis, we have the limits, that is a and b. As you can see them here, we have our a and b. Then you have the curve now. So this is what we need to be able to approximate. So how do you go about it? This is where we are starting. And we are insisting that in this case, you find the limit that are going to be given here. But if you divide this one into numbers of the rectangles, divide that one into the number of rectangles, what you're going to do is that those rectangles, some of them are not going to be, some are going to be over, others are going to be below. You can see there. If you divide the numbers of the rectangles that you're going to be having, some of them are going to be below and the others are going to be up. So that's what we are saying here. Check on this. You have this part remaining here, this part remaining here, this part remaining here, and another one overlapping there. So if that is the case, the area is divided into rectangular strips as follows. If you divide it in those rectangular strips as follows, then you need to be able to deal with that, and that's what we are saying in my next slide, that the shaded area is in the figure above shows an underestimated and overestimated area under the curve. Therefore, the actual area lies between the underestimated and the overestimated area. The accuracy of this area can be improved by increasing the number of the rectangular strip between x and a. So meaning in between, the more you get the number, the more you subdivide this shaded region into bigger number of rectangles, or the more numbers of the rectangles, then the higher the accuracy. Because you are saying when you're doing that division, there's going to be an underestimation and overestimation. So to increase the accuracy, it is required that we divide it as more as possible. Then we're insisting, how does the process of the integration is applied in finding these concepts? And this one we're going to see on the next slide here. We are saying that the exact area beneath the curve between x and a is given by the integral function. So that's what you're going to be talking about. So you're going to integrate. That's the symbol of it. Then those are the limits from a to b. Then our y function will be integrated with respect to x. That's the concept which I'm insisting there. And you can see we are saying the symbol, this one, is an instruction to integrate. So this in itself is an instruction that you're supposed to be able to integrate. Thus, this full statement means integrate the function y with respect to x. So when you see this symbol, not only tell you that you're supposed to integrate, but itself, it stands for integration. Then a and b are going to be the limits that you're supposed to put into consideration there. So you see the expression, this is what I've given you there. Have a and b as the limits, where to start and where to stop, is known as the definite. It's known as the definite integral. And the one without the limit. So if I already draw the limit, then I have this one, 1. This one, then this one is 2. You have 1, dx. So you don't have the limit here. So the one that has the limit, it is definite because it is telling you where to start and where to stop. The one without is in definite integral because it does not tell you where to start and where to stop. That's why I was introducing that concept of the definite integral and the indefinite integral. So, so just to be precise on that, is that the one which is definite, it must have the limit. The one without is known as the indefinite integral. So without the limit, the expansion is known as the indefinite integral. So there, I've given you the example. And one example which is there is that you are told that 1, integrate 1 from 2 to 6. And then you're given that the function is 2x. 2x squared plus 3. And this one into dx. So you come in this case of the solution. So in that terms of the solution, we are told that in this case, the following steps help us to solve. So there are some processes that you're supposed to be able to follow in order for you to be able to integrate. They are saying that integrate 2x squared plus 3 with respect to x. Then the solution is the normal way which you have been saying. In this case is that our y is going to be given now by what? 2x squared plus 1, then this is 2 plus 1, then plus 3x. And so plus 3, that is 3x plus 0, then it is 1. Then you have what? 0 plus 1, then plus c. So you're going to have now our sort 2 over 3. That's going to be x cubed. Then plus what? Plus 3x plus c. That's what we have done in our first part. So when you achieve now your integral part, then you say place the limit in the square bracket and insert the limit. Thus, what you have now here is going to be 2 over 3x cubed, then plus 3x plus c, then insert those limits. Where are we starting? We're starting from 2 to 6, as you can see. From 2 to 6. Those are what we are saying by inserting out the limit. Because this one was definite. It's telling you to start from where 2 is to where the 6 is. Then when you insert those limits, then substitute the limits. You substitute the limit starting with the highest one, and then you subtract the final one. So we are saying x, when x is 6, it will give us the following. So meaning here is going to be 2, 3, then this is 6 cubed, plus what? Plus 3 for x, plus 6 now, then plus our c. Then this one, we subtract the lower limit. Same case again. It's going to be 2 over 3. Then here you have 2 cubed. Then plus 3 over 2 plus c. So when that one is, you substitute in that case, when it's 6, it's going to substitute there from the calc. What are you going to get? In this case, you're going to get this one, is 34. Over 3 plus what? Plus c. So this one, we subtract the result of the lower limit from that of the upper limit. So this one is for the lower limit, and the other one is for the upper limit. So when you substitute, so where there is this one, you work it out. This is the one that you're going to get 34 over 3 plus c. But this one you're going to get 162 plus c. So now you open the bracket. So subtract the result of the lower limit from that of the upper limit. That is, now open the bracket, 162 plus c minus 34 over 3. Remember here there's a bracket. You have a minus and a plus. A minus and a plus. 34 over 3. So minus and plus give us minus. You see? So you can see plus c minus c. This one is going to cancel. Should be eliminated. When it is eliminated, we're going to be left with. So that concept is the same. This one now is going to be 162 minus 34 over 3. So finally 162 minus 34 over 3. This is going to give us what? 150. 2, 3 is your answer. So when you have the case of the definite integral, the c is usually eliminated in that process which I have given to you. So that is the process that you're going to be talking about. So we can summarize the steps in the short form as follows. So this process, you can be able to summarize them as they're going to be shown there. So that's what we are doing. the summary of them. So this is going to be 2 over 3. So integrate direct. So there's no marks of integrating step by step. So you can be able to integrate it direct. So from here, integrate the 2x squared plus 3, you get this one. Then you shield, you get your limit there. Substitute. Where there is x, put 6. And where there is, in the other case, minus, where there is x, put 2. Then finally you get your 152 over 3. We still continue with more examples. That is going to be a number 2. Find the indefinite integral. And this is our number 2. So in our number 2, when you are told to find the indefinite integral, remember the limits are not there. The limits are not there. So if you are told that you find the indefinite integral, then you just integrate and then you don't withdraw the x. I don't eliminate the c. So this one is going to be x squared plus 1. Integrate this one, add the power, divide by 8, you get x cubed over 3 plus x plus c, because it is an indefinite one. Then the next one again, that's what we are saying. This one also indefinite, 1 and 2. And when you integrate it, you have to do the same again. And that's what you're going to have there when you add 1 plus c. Same case to this one not indefinite. So this one now is a definite where you have the limit. Integrate this one, you get that's the answer, then substitute the limit. Remember where there is x here, put 1, and then this is 0, so you're going to get negative 4 over 5. The next one you're going to do on your own, and then you confirm. These are going to be the 3 parts that I'll leave you to do on your own. So the next time, you're going to deal with the area under the curve. Otherwise, with that, do have a good day and enjoy the next lesson. With those few remarks, I'm out.